Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about where you live. Where do you live in your country?
I live in Hyderabad, which is the capital of Andhra Pradesh, in the southeast of India. It is a very big city. About 7 million people live there.
And is it an interesting place to live?
Oh yes, a very interesting place to live. Hyderabad has a very long history. So there are lots of ancient forts, mosques and other monuments. There is a very beautiful lake, and there are also lots of wonderful markets.
And will you live in Hyderabad in the future?
Yes, I think once I finish my studies here, I'll go back to Hyderabad. My husband is from Hyderabad too, so I think we'll stay there.
Now let's talk about hobbies and interests. What hobbies and interests are popular in your country?
People have many different pastimes in my country. I think the most popular these days are things like gardening and do-it-yourself, which is when people, usually men, make things for their home. I think women tend not to have too many hobbies. You can't really call shopping a hobby. I think in the past, women used to fill up the leisure time that they had with craft activities, but sewing and knitting aren't so common these days. I think reading is still very popular, especially now these days with the new e-readers.
And which hobbies and interests do you enjoy?
Well, like a lot of people, my work takes up a lot of my time. And at the weekend, I like to meet up with my friends or go out with my husband. So I don't really have much time for hobbies. But I do read a lot, especially history and biography. Also, I love collecting art. So I go to a lot of art fairs. I really like colorful, abstract art, which really brighten up our homes.
And what hobbies and interests did you have as a child?
Gosh, that was a long time ago. Let me think. I used to collect key rings. I think I had about 20 or 25. They were silly things really, but fun for a small child. I used to like painting and drawing. My parents were very supportive and they bought me a lot of oil paints, but I'm not really very talented. I also played the clarinet. I was in a junior orchestra. I remember once we played a concert and my reed broke during the first piece, and so I couldn't make any sound.
And do you think parents should encourage their children to have a hobby or interest?
Oh yes, very much so. I think it is very important for children to have something other than school, television and computers. Sometimes a hobby can turn into a very successful career, but even if it doesn't, it can help the child develop as a person as they learn about new things and meet new people who share the same hobby.
Now let's move on to talk about the weather. Do you prefer hot weather or cold?
I think I prefer cold weather. I know most people prefer hot weather, but it is always so hot in my country that it is such a nice change to feel the cold. Of course, in the cold, it's very easy to put on a hat and gloves to keep ourselves warm.
Tell me about the weather in your country at different times of year.
India is so big that there are many different climates. So I'll just talk about the weather in Hyderabad. Generally, we have a tropical wet and dry climate. That means that the summers, March to June, are hot, over 30 degrees and very humid. Sometimes it can reach over 40, which is just unbearable. At the end of the summer, the monsoon comes and it rains for about 3 months. After the rainy season, it's winter, which is quite short, just a couple of months.
Which time of year did you enjoy most as a child?
Well, I think like most children, I would say the summer, when we had the long school holiday. But I always preferred spring. There's something so lovely about when everything starts to grow again after the winter. You can almost smell it in the air.
And has the weather changed much in your country in recent years?
I don't think so, really. I know that in some countries the climate has been changing because of global warming, but where I live it seems to be the same. Just heat and rain. I have noticed something. In recent summers, when it's very hot, there have been many water shortages. I don't remember that happening when I was younger.
Thank you.